A growing passion is made possible by the San Diego County Water Authority and its member agencies. Growing citrus in containers dates back to the Italian Renaissance, when Italians of means had their gardeners plant lemons, oranges, and other citrus in large tubs. The gardeners grew the trees outside during the warm months, but when winter frosts arrived, they moved them indoors to protective glass conservatories called limonaya. The French had similar glasshouses they called orangeries. In fact, Louis XIV had an orangerie filled with 3,000 orange trees. Louis had an impressive collection, no doubt, but here in San Diego, we have 13,000 acres covered in citrus trees. And those trees, they produce about 200,000 tons of fruit every year. Now, you don't need a big space or even a grove to grow citrus. Just like in the Renaissance, what you really need is a big pot. That's exactly how landscape designer Linda Cesari grows citrus in her garden in Del Mar. Linda, why grow citrus in containers rather than in the ground?
Well, because most of my garden is drought tolerant and does not need a lot of water nor fertilizer. And by growing citrus in containers, I can give them what they need in the way of water and fertilizer, but concentrate it to the pots and not have to give water and fertilizer to everything around them.
So you find that citrus are thirstier?
They're definitely thirstier than what I have in my garden. They're not thirstier than my vegetable garden plants, but they're much thirstier than the drought-tolerant shrubs and trees and perennials that I have in my garden.
How often do you have to fertilize your citrus?
I fertilize them twice a year, same as everything else in my garden, and I don't use a special fertilizer. I use a balanced fertilizer that has time-release action, so it lasts for 6 months. I generally fertilize October 1st and April 1st.
Do you get a lot of fruit from it, George? Do you get enough?
Well, I have 2 Meyer lemon trees because we really like lemons, and Meyer lemon trees tend to hold their fruit for a long time. So by putting the trees in slightly different exposures, that is, with slightly different amounts of sunshine, I can actually be picking lemons from those trees for 6 to 7 months.
Any tips for keeping citrus healthy in pots?
Pull off the leaves that look bad when they look bad. No tricks. They're all in full sun. They all get at least, I would say, 6 to 8 hours of sunlight a day, and they're basically separated enough so they have good air circulation. I think that helps with pest controls too.
We are lucky to be able to grow citrus outdoors all year round, but sometimes I think about how wonderful it would be to have my own lemonaya outside my own palace, of course.